Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me on my latest YouTube video. Beetle Dave calling from Derbyshire in the UK. Hope you're all well on this Sunday afternoon. Now, today we're going to look at one of the rarer sort of LPs that were released on Apple. It's by a band called the Ivies, although this one, I must admit, this is not an original Apple recording. This is a later repressing from 2020. If you didn't know, the Ivies was the original name for the great rock stroke pop band Badfinger. But originally they were called the Ivies, and they did release, I think it was one single. And this album, although this album was never actually officially released in the UK at the time, I think it had a release in somewhere like Italy or one European country, and that was it. It has been bootlegged quite a few times. But I think this is like a semi-official release. I think it's from Russia. Like I say, it came from this edition is from 2020, and it's on Audio Clarity Records, and the catalogue number is ACL0056. Like I say, if you do ever get an original of these, which I think was from Italy, I'm not 100% sure, I know it was some European country, and I think there's a bootleg from Japan as well, which is very, very convincing as an Apple record. But you will be talking really, really stupid money. And I'm not on about a few hundred, you're probably talking best part of £1,000 for it. So the track listing on this is, remember this was made before there was Badfinger, so there was still the Ivies when they made this, is Seesaw Grandpa, Beautiful and Blue, Dear Angie, Think About the Good Times, Yesterday Ain't Coming Back, Fisherman, They're Knocking Down Our Home. That's side one. Side two, Maybe Tomorrow, beautiful song. Sally Blue, Angie Luke, I'm in Love, I've Been Waiting, No Escaping Your Love, and Her Daddy's a Millionaire. Now, Her Daddy's a Millionaire is actually a bonus track on it. It wasn't actually on the original album. The single from this album was Maybe Tomorrow, which was released in the UK, like I say, as a single. I'm not sure if Her Daddy a Millionaire was the B-side to that. Of course, later on, the Ivies did change the name to Badfinger, but there was one change in the lineup as well. Ron Griffiths left and was replaced by, I can't remember the guy's name now, Joey Mullen, wasn't it? And then they became Badfinger. One of the reasons they changed the name from the Ivies was because everybody kept saying, well, didn't used to be called the Ivy League. That's the story. How true it is, I don't know. And the story how they got signed to Apple was Mal Evans saw him. And he did actually produce a few of the tracks on here. So he persuaded the Beatles to sign them, as I say, under the Ivies, and then later became Badfinger, and then great success, didn't they? Very, very sad story in a lot of ways about Badfinger, but we're on about this LP today, aren't we? So just have a few liner notes. And the original album, if you ever get it, has got the exact same cover as this. So on here, I'll read it to you. I'll try and get all the words and pronunciation right, but I can't guarantee it. The Ivies came to Apple in search not of fame and riches or success, which rewards they are discovering slowly and with increasing acceleration, but to find a young energy source and a warm environment that their yearnings brought them. What they looked for was due partly to Apple's affection for four very nice kids and partly to the band's pop skills. They are not, nor are they now, adventurous innovators, but they are ready. They are ready to be. They're ready to be. The Ivies can sing and play tight, rich stuff. Write it too. They can write anything. They are lovely lads, Mike Gibbons, Ron Griffiths, and Pete Ham, coming from Swansea, and one Tom Evans from Liverpool. So Tom Evans was from Liverpool, and I think when Joey Mullen joined, I think he was originally from Liverpool, wasn't he? They have a manager, Bill Collins. If you remember the Professionals, Lewis Collins, Bill Collins was his dad, who is Bill Collins, who is their mother, their father, and their favourite son. That doesn't make sense, does it? For them, all Apple feels love and admiration. You will see why, or rather, you will hear why, when the youth and honesty of this album is introduced to your sensibilities. The Ivies offer you themselves, their writing and their music. For this, their first album is all their own work. So everything on here, members of the actual band, the Ivies, very, because I think till they were signed to Apple, I think there was a bit like, sort of like a cab act. I think they did have a following in Swansea, but I think they did quite a lot of like cover versions of the sort of like latest sort of like pop tunes. So it was produced by Tony Visconti, very, very famous producer in his own right. He went on to do a lot of work with David Bowie and Mark Bolan and people like that, didn't he? And then again, there is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 songs on here that is produced by Mal. And the photo is by Peter Asher. And it was originally released in 1969. I think Ron Griffiths, if I've read this right and I'm remembering right, when as they were to become Badfinger, the first like single they released as Badfinger was "Come and Get It," wasn't it? Now I think Ron Griffiths actually played on that, but he'd actually left the band by the time it was released. So I think he was working in a factory somewhere, and all that was on the radio at the time was that song, and he got like really, really fed up and pissed off because he didn't get no royalties or anything on it, because although he played on it, by the time it was released, he wasn't a member of the band. Like I say, this is not on Apple. I wish it was, because it'd be worth a hell of a lot of money. But for saying it's, I mean, it's a really, I'd say it's an easy 180 gram, this, easy. So that's the A side. I don't think you'll see these labels very good. And then that is the B side. And the sound quality of this is really, really nice. Like I said, I don't think I actually paid a lot of money for this. In fact, I know I didn't. I think it was around the £20 mark, which, you know, is a lot less than £1,000, isn't it? You know, if I was going to pay, if you get the original of this and you're paying £1,000 for it, would you ever play it? I mean, you might do if you've got a really, really top of the range, expensive hi-fi to play it on. I mean, my setup is okay. You know, I've got me amp and everything there, and I've got a really, really nice Project record deck, and I've got a cheap record deck there. Well, I say cheap, that was about £100, and then I've got my old one there to play like all my monos on. But £5,000, I don't think I'd even dare play it on the Project. Bearing in mind, my Project is only about 6-7 months old. But that's by the by. Like I say, so like I say, this was never officially released in the UK. However, in the early 90s, when Apple started to get, you know, to make a bit of a comeback and started promoting all the Beatles albums and things like that, they did actually release a few of the original Apple records, and I think they used to come in like a gatefold, Steve, and you'd get all this moaning about the Beatles Let It Be box set with a 12-inch 45 RPM EP. Well, they were the bonus tracks on a lot of the records that were re-released by Apple in the 90s. Now, even if you find one of them, you're still talking best part of £200. So I don't think I've done that bad on this, to be honest. Like I say, it is a shame that this album never got the recognition that it deserves when it was originally released, because, you know, had a UK and an American, and, you know, was released in most of Europe at the time when it was released. Okay, you might not have got Badfinger, but the Badfinger story might have finished in a different way to how it did. If you don't know the story of Badfinger, I'm not going to spoil it to you, but actually it is a very, very sad story in one way, because there were 4 brilliant musicians and they basically got screwed financially, not by Apple or the Beatles. It was it happened after this, because when they changed the name, I think they changed the manager as well. Stan Polly, who was a very, very dubious man. That's all I'm going to say. Horrible man. He really was a horrible man. But then again, he did get him into record deals and stuff like that. So, but they never made any money, is the short of it. So yeah. So if you do ever see this, I think, excuse me, this is probably going to be the most common way that you can find it. But I've looked on eBay this morning and I actually couldn't find a copy of this anywhere. I looked on Discogs as well, and I couldn't find. I could find the Japanese one, which again was really, really silly money. At the end of the day, if you like the Beatles, there's a Beatles connection. If you like Apple, there's an Apple connection. And if you like Badfinger, of course, this is the original Badfinger sort of thing, isn't it? Or the original band before they changed the name into Badfinger. Brilliant songs on it. Some of these songs were put onto the Magic Christian Music, I think it was called, which was then like released as the first Badfinger album. But I'm not sure if there were these versions or if they were re-recorded. If anybody knows, as far as I know, I think there were these versions. If anybody does know, please drop me a comment. But yeah, a brilliant album. Ron Griffiths, I don't think he ever really did anything else in the music industry. I think he might have still played in the odd band here and there, but I don't think he was. I think what it was at the time. I think he was married and he got kids or something. And I think when they didn't get the support for this, I think he thought, well, I might as well go back to my trade or whatever it was. Again, I'm not 100% sure on that. So if any of you people out there do know, please let me know. So that's going to be it for this little video, and it is only a little video today. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Once again, if you like my videos, please just hit that, thumbs up button. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, because the more subscribers I get, then the more things I can do. And if you're a new subscriber, hello, welcome. And if you're an old subscriber, hello and welcome. Everybody is always welcome in my little YouTube channel. As the name says, Beatle Dave. So 99% of the time, it's either the Beatles or something related to the Beatles. Like this was originally on Apple Wanted, which was the Beatles label. That's why I've done it today. Again, if you can find this, I hope you can find it. But I think you'll be lucky to find it for, at the minute, for under I'd say £50. That's if you can find it. I think I was just saw this at the right time. Some news for this will probably be a video either later this week, but it's probably going to be more next week or maybe the weekend after. I have actually just acquired a rather large Beatles collection. I say I've acquired it, I haven't got it yet. I actually won it today on eBay. Again, didn't pay a great deal for it, but there's some nice little rarities in it. They're not in mint condition. There's records, there's books, there's all sorts. It is a proper collection. So if it's here for next weekend, I will hopefully be doing a video on that, and that might be a bit of a long video. So I will warn you all before. It's probably going to be one of my videos that's probably going to go on for an hour, but there is pressings from South Africa and everything. Some have got covers, some haven't, some are in good condition, some aren't in that good a condition. Like I say, there's books and all sorts with it. So that's one for you lot to look out for. I say hopefully it should be here for next weekend, because it is my long weekend next week. So I've got like 4 or 5 days to make a video. So so until then, please stay safe. Once again, for everybody that is subscribing, thank you very much. As always, love your records, cherish your records, clean your records, because records will need cleaning from time to time. But above all, play your records. So until the next video, I might be doing a little video later on today, so just look out for that. But like I say, hopefully next weekend we will be looking at that collection, which I've actually won today. It's supposed to be here on the 3rd, so which I think is Thursday, and I think I'm off on Friday. So fingers crossed, people. It should be making for a nice video for next week. So until then, Beetle Dave in the UK saying thank you very much. Thank you for enjoying my video. Thank you for liking my video. And, you know, thank you for just liking my channel more than anything. So, as always, stay safe, love and peace, and I'll see you again soon.